Great morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for watching us on the replay. We truly, truly appreciate you. If you're watching on the replay, you too can share this and comment, and we'll be coming back and checking out your comments and replying. So welcome to Motivation Monday. I am Corinthia Williams, also known as the Queen of Transformation, and this is my amazing husband,
Stephen Williams, the Pusher.
And our mission is to give individuals a dose of power in the areas of business, marriage, and everyday life, because we truly, truly stand on the belief that it's not how you start that matters, but it's how you finish. So we will and we shall finish strong. So on today, we coming to you, like I said, with Motivation Monday. Meet us here every Monday for motivation, for tips, for help, for a good laugh, for a good time, just to get your week started with a jump start, right? We all need a refresher sometime. We all need some motivation at times. And we're here to do that because we are truly, truly dedicated to giving individuals a dose of power. So you want to tell everybody what we're going to talk about today?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Listen, we just wanted to come on just to let everybody know and follow up what we was talking about. What we did, like 3 weeks ago, we was talking about being aligned, right? Mm-hmm. Being in alignment, shifting, But as you shift and as you go in alignment, there's going to be some type of internal things that you sense, that you feel, and it's called conflict, right? Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, most people think that conflict is something negative, right? All conflict is not negative. Conflict is just to let you know that there's an old fighting against the new and vice versa. Mm. But on today, y'all, somebody say today, we are not hiding from the internal conflict. The internal conflict is there to let you know that you are growing. Mm. That you are growing, and it's going to take that inner warrior to face those things. My wife and I, we're reading this awesome book called The 4 Agreements, y'all. If you don't have it, get it. The 4 Agreements. Do you know, in order for you to have any type of it's like, in order for you to receive things, you have to agree with it, good, bad, or indifferent, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm coming to realize while we was going through our shift, babe, that I had agreed with some things that wasn't good for me, mm-hmm. wasn't good to me, and that, first off, babe, I gotta thank you. Me? I'm serious. I gotta thank you, babe, for starting the self-love, self-care campaign, because it's like, babe, I wouldn't have never came across this if it wasn't for you. Mm. I mean it. I thank you for it, because in my self-love, self-care journey, mm-hmm. there were some things that I had to work on because I was conditioned. Mm-hmm. I was conditioned to agree with him. I was conditioned to accept it. But those things weren't good for me. Mm-hmm. And I wondered why I responded to people, places, and things the way that I did. But self-love and self-care is not selfish.
It's necessary.
It's so necessary.
Yeah.
But the reason that we're following up, babe, is to let, grown men and grown women know that, okay, we're really putting in the work with this shifting thing. We're not just shifting to say we're shifting. Mm-hmm. But we're shifting on purpose for a purpose, if that makes sense. Right. To get to the best version of us. You know, this thing don't have nothing to do with anybody else externally, but it has everything to do with me, you, internally, and do the work that's so necessary, because that's how we become the best that we can. And we're not talking about perfection, but we just talking about being the best version of us. Me being the best version of Stephen Williams, Corinthia being the best version of you. And the first thing I had to find out and figure out, I had to forgive me. I had to forgive me for going along to get along.
Right.
I had to forgive me for allowing myself to be conditioned without me even knowing it. You know, as a kid, you figure out real quick that you want to please your parents.
Right.
You want to clean your room. You want to do your chores. You want to get good grades in school, because that pleases your parents. You know, you growing up, you have a group of friends. You really want to please your friends. You want to be liked. A lot of people say that they don't care, but you do care.
Yeah, everybody. We're human, right?
You care. You know, but you're being conditioned what's acceptable versus, you know, man, I don't do that because I'm not going to get the response that I think that I need. But along the way you're being conditioned, you are agreeing with something that might not even be really good for you at the root of it.
Right.
If that really truly makes sense. What's your take on it, babe?
You're absolutely right. It's like from reading in the book and just on my own personal love journey, my own personal growth journey, I'm learning that I was a people pleaser, and that was conditioned for us to do. We were created to please people, right? We were meaning we were conditioned to please people. We were conditioned, like you said, to please our teachers, our parents, the church, community, society. We wanted to feel accepted, right? Because even as a child coming from your mother's womb, you learn to be, and you're conditioned to be accepted. Yeah. You want to feel a part of. You want to feel. You don't want to feel like the oddball. You don't want to feel outcast, right? Because as humans, we want to be a part of the community, the human community, right? And so the part of reconditioning, shifting your mind, reconditioning your mind, getting your mind in a place, in a state of being independent, right? Because so long we say we independent, but we're truly not, because we've been conditioned. Right. We have to forgive ourselves. But another part of forgiving ourselves is realizing whatever was done to us, we can't blame our parents. We can't blame whoever brought us up, whoever, our teachers, church, what have you. We have to learn to forgive them, because just like we've been conditioned, they've been conditioned, right? There's a continual cycle, and we're learning of conditioning, a continual cycle of wanting to be accepted, a continual cycle of wanting to be acknowledged, right? Wow. And wanting to be included into whatever part or sector. You know how in school, right? You got the little cliques. That's what we call them here in Baltimore, little cliques. When I was growing up, you had your own little clique. And anybody that wasn't in a clique, they felt isolated. Right. They felt rejected. They felt like they needed to be a part of it. Now, a lot of people, some didn't. Some just went about their way. But most did what they had to do to be a part of their clique, to be recognized, to be accepted. Right. But believe it or not, that's part of the conditioning, right? That's part of being in agreement with something somebody told you that was acceptable. Right. And unfortunately, that is what the whole society is mainly made up of conditions and agreements that were made because that's just how it is, right? Just why do you go to a new company and you might ask a coworker, so why we do it like this? Oh girl, that's just what they tell us to do. I'm gonna just do it. Right? So we have to learn to change the culture. We've been talking about self-love, self-care. We've been talking about shifting your mindset. Right. We've been talking about changing the dynamic of who we are and really honing in, right? My queens that's here, we got a queen on Instagram. I see a queen over here on Facebook. We talk about unleashing the queen within. Right. And part of unleashing, right? A part of unleashing is really tapping in and realizing who you are. Right? We come in this world, we're giving our name, right? We don't have a choice of what name we want, right? We give it, we're birthed into a family dynamic right. that we have no choice or no control over, right? So a lot of our life, our entire lives has been dictated of who you are, what your standard is. This is what our family standard is. You go to college, you do this, you do that, right? Or vice versa, it could be on the other end. But you become a product of your environment, right? Your environment, where you grew up, your household, what school you went to, right? All of that dictates of part of who you are. But in actuality, just like that toddler, right? We call it the terrible twos, right? That's when they learn their voice, they get curious, they touching stuff, right? That is when you realize that 2-year-old, that human being, that soul is coming within itself.
Right. That's when it's most freest.
But this is the thing. This is part of the conditioning, right? That we say, don't touch that. Put that down. Don't put that in your mouth. And they say, no. That's the famous word. After dada, right, is no, right? And so their minds is trying to combat, right? Because they're becoming into their own little human. They're becoming into their own personality. So that's the conflict. That's normally when the conflict starts. When they get curious and want to touch stuff and feel stuff. And of course, as parents, we say no for their own safety, right? But as time progresses and time goes on, they learn the behaviors of their environment. And so they know, like Steve was sharing, they know what to say and what to do. And, they learn the moral compass of life, right? And so they're in this phase of just copying.
Right.
How do we learn? By repetition. They copy what the parent do. They copy what the parents say. They copy what society say, what the cartoons say. And it's just a copycat effect. But in actuality, we're being conditioned on what to say, how to say it, what to do, what's acceptable. Right? Now, I do understand we can't just be out here wilding out, right? We are part of a society. We have to have laws and regulations. But when it comes to your own life, right, we have to learn to make a decision for us. Yeah. And I know for myself, and a lot of you can relate that, especially in my early stages of adulthood, it was hard for me to make a decision because everything was done for me, right? I didn't know how to pay bills. I didn't know if this was the right car. All those life situations you hit once you leave your parents' house. I left my parents' house at the age of 20. Well, the people that raised me, I left their house at the age of 20. I was young. I was still young. And so I couldn't really comprehend on decisions because I always had someone telling me and what to do, how to do it. Don't do this, don't do that, right? And so when you break out into adulthood, we say it all the time, we want to be adults so bad. But once we became adults, it's like, I don't want this. Right. Take it back, right? And so it's so important to, as adults, because I'm pretty sure all adults are watching our page and talking to us here on Facebook and Instagram, we have to start making our own rules, right? When it pertains to us. Freeing ourselves from that domesticated mindset. Right. Freeing ourselves, knowing that, we talked about this earlier, when you domesticate an animal, say for instance a dog, right? You domesticate your dog first. The dog's a puppy, wilding out. You teach it how to use the bathroom outside. You feed it at a certain time. It becomes regulated. You domesticate this animal, correct?
Right.
And so just like that animal is so used to being in a cage. Say for instance you crate train, or you got to, okay. Let me not talk as if y'all know what I'm talking about when I say crate train. A lot of people don't have dogs. My husband, he breeds dogs. But so you got the dog in a cage or behind the gate or what have you, and that dog knows if I go beyond that mark, I'm going to get punished. I'm going to have to go in my cage, whatever, right? You can have that gate open all day, and you domesticated that dog so well that even though that gate is open, the dog would not leave out, right?
Wow.
And so what I'm saying to you, as we shift our mindsets, as we go beyond our family dynamic, as we go beyond just wanting to be accepted so bad, let's realize the gate is open and walk out of it.
Right.
Just leave it. Just leave that mindset behind. Walk into something greater. Explore your options.
Right.
Explore your dreams and desires.
Right.
Go beyond what the world told you
Right.
you should do. Go beyond what your environment, how you grew up, what your family dynamic is.
Right.
Go beyond that and live your life to the fullest, because we only get one, and there's no dress rehearsals. There's no dress rehearsals. We got to say no to some things.
Right.
We got to say no to some people. We got to start pleasing us and stop trying to please society. Stop trying to please our parents, right? Our employer. Just stop. Just take a moment and just stop and truly let it go. And know that if they can't accept the new you, whoever they may be, it's nothing personal. It's just that they can't accept themselves. When people are upset with us, when people get a little antsy with us, me, speak for me, right?
Right.
Oh, you think you better than. Or you hear things like, oh, you changed, or oh, you ain't got time for us no more. These are people you allowed in your circle that you've been trying to please for so long. And now that you are changing and shifting and moving in a positive direction for you, it's unacceptable for others. And unfortunately, that's how some people react to others changing. But it's not your fault. It's them wanting and needing and desiring a change within themselves.
That's good, baby.
Right? And so that could be family members, that could be friends, that could be spouses, right?
That could be anybody.
Anybody. And we got to learn, in the book, it tells us stop taking everything personal.
Right.
From others, right? When others give you stuff. Now take your change personal, take your shift personal, because it's about you right now.
Yeah.
Right? But if someone comes to you with negativity, if someone comes with you with doubt, that's their own thing they got to deal with. That's their fears, right. Their insecurities, their wonders, their dreams. They see their faults, right? And we got to let it go.
Right.
Because so long, we want to fix everybody else.
Right.
And we never really took the time to fix us. Right? We want to fix everybody else. We want to be God, little G God.
Right.
We want to be everybody's savior. It's time to save us. And in the process of saving yourselves, you are able and capable of saving someone else if need be. At least showing them the process, right? Because just like for you, it's a decision that had to be made. It's a decision that you had to make for yourself.
Right.
This self-love journey seriously started for me because, on social media, it's self-care day, Sunday, hashtag self, it was cute, especially in the female world, it was cute. It was cute, get your nails done, all that. That's needed, right? But when you start digging into self-loving yourself, and when I started this journey last year, it really opened my eyes to all the things that really didn't mean anything, right? Until, it didn't mean anything, and I was making it a priority. But then when I took those things and cleared it off my plate, it's really honed into me.
Right.
My relationships got better, right?
Stronger, right.
My relationships with my children got stronger, right? I was able to actually hear, right? Hear the conversations, hear people's hearts. Right. I was actually able to hear what was going on. Some things I agreed with, and some that I didn't. Right. And those that I didn't agree with, right? Because we talk about from the book 4 Agreements, right? I said, no, thank you.
Right.
This isn't for me. And I went on my journey and continued my journey. Within this year, I've lost friendships. I've lost what I thought was friendships, right? Because, and it's no harm to those people. It's just that they weren't ready. And I had to be okay with it.
Right.
Right? And so in our process of loving us, in our process of healing us, because it's a healing process.
That's Mommy, I'm so glad you said that, and not to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I'm going to look at some of these
It's
comments.
like, that's what the self-care, self-love is all about. It's about healing. It's about being able to heal. A lot of us know about the Maslow hierarchy. They call it the Swiss cheese effect or the Swiss cheese theory, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when we go through certain things, that place, that hollow place inside the Swiss cheese is just opportunity where we can heal or should heal. Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, babe, a couple minutes ago, when you was going through the self-love journey, you found that you had a lot of stuff on your plate externally that you was trying to clog those holes up with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you can't heal those holes externally. Mm-mm. This has to be an internal thing. Mm-hmm. Internal healing. And my wife said after she started to heal internally, that's when you start to really truly see the change. Mm-hmm. When I realized that my wife was talking to me and listening instead of talking at me, my level of respect went way up here. Mm-hmm. Our relationship became stronger. Our bond became stronger. We started to really understand each other, and then seeing her change, like, baby, what's this? Most men, we don't know nothing about self-care, mm-hmm. self-love. Like, right. Like, babe, really, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, my self-love, my self-care, it'd be a drink, it'd be a smoke. It'd be a fishing trip. It'd be a new car. It'd be all these external things, right?
Right.
But in all actuality, I still wasn't healed internally. Mm-hmm. So that's why we hopping on here to let you know, like, y'all for some of y'all that's really putting in the work, mm-hmm. and you like, Brother Steve, there's some inner conflict going on. I'm here to tell you, the Queen is here to tell you that inner conflict is necessary. The inner conflict is designed to show you that you're growing. Mm-hmm. Your subconscious is so used to you doing what you've been doing for 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60 years. Mm-hmm. And do you think your subconscious is going to let you off the hook just that easy? You're like, bro, Steve, when I lay down, man, I'm having all these crazy thoughts. Man, when I'm around certain people, I feel something come up in my mind, and some people call it their subconscious, some people call it their spirit, call it whatever you want. But just put in the work. You gotta raise up the what they call it in the book. You gotta raise up the not the Gladiator. What was it called in the book? The it wasn't a gladiator. You gotta raise up that person that's willing to stand. No. Oh. That's willing to stand for you. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one that's left with your thoughts.
Right.
And when you start to heal your thoughts, you know, that's when you make better decisions. That's when you respond to things differently. That's how I know that I'm healed in a certain situation. Because it might come up and I don't respond the way I used to. I always wondered, like, why back in the day I had to be so hot-headed. Mm-hmm. My mother like, oh, y'all don't tell Stevie. Y'all don't tell Stevie. You know, I remember I would hear. You know, I'm upstairs in the room, and this is my sister and my mother talking. My sister is like 6-7 years older than me. I'm the baby boy. Nikki, don't tell Stevie. You know, because I was a hothead and she know that I would do something. But the thing is, it's like now I don't have to respond because I'm on my self-care, self-love journey and I'm healing these places. And even though I feel that inner conflict is showing me that I am moving in the right direction. That inner conflict is showing me that if I replace these old habits, replace them with new, you know what I'm saying? God is really restoring and working some things out in and through my life. I can be a better husband, a better father, a better friend, a better businessman. But the thing is that I got to put in the work for me. I got to help heal me. Mm-hmm. The book says the warrior. You got to raise up the warrior in you. Mm-hmm. And when you put in the work, that's what gives you the evidence to be confident. It's not about being cocky, but you on this journey. Don't get so fixed on the end result, but enjoy every part of your journey. Mm-hmm. And when you start to enjoy you, that's all that matters. You start to you reverse the conditioning. Because all conditioning is not good conditioning. You reverse it by the things that you put in play. The things that you do every day. You know, when those thoughts pop up in your mind and your head, you got to say, I don't agree with that. Mm-hmm. Church people say, oh, I rebuke that. Same thing. Mm-hmm. You rebuke it. You saying you don't agree with it? Oh, I don't agree with that. Fear? No, God did not give me the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And y'all, when we got a sound mind, all that external stuff, it won't even matter. And I'm not saying you turn into a robot, but the thing is that you are healing internally. And it won't affect you the same way. Come on, somebody. It won't affect you the same way. That's why we had to hop on here. It was like, listen, people that's really, 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 truly putting in the work. You know, you're like, man, I feel this conflict. All conflict is not bad. Right. It's just showing you that you got to face whatever it is. Mm-hmm. You face it. And the first thing you do, you forgive you. Right. We ain't pointing the finger at nobody. You ain't pointing the finger at that old manager that hired his homeboy and put him on first shift. God bless you for doing that, man. You know, but God had to take some of us through stuff like that. Didn't know anything about anything, but you get first shift. But God is like, okay, now you got your own business. You don't got to worry about first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 1,000 shifts. You done made your salary in 2 months. God's like, now what are you complaining about now? What's the complaint now? The door is wide open like the Queen said. Or you going to walk through the door, you still want to be conditioned. You still want to be left with the same thought processes that you have. You know that is a better version of you inside of you. This mess ain't external. It's inside you. That's it.
That's it. So just tap into, you know, if you can get the book, get the book.
Get the book.
They also, you can find on YouTube the audio version of the book. It's really, really good. I suggest purchasing the book. We purchased ours on Amazon. That way you can go over and read it and highlight and write notes, things like that. But listen, we still talking about shift. Whenever you come on with Motivation Monday, we still talking about shifting your mindset. That's where everything happens, where everything is created within your mind. And so on today, we just wanted to share with you guys things that we're learning, right? Things that's helping us on our process, on our journey of self-love, self-healing, preservation, right? Self-preservation. Because when you continue to learn, when you continue to grow, when you continue to, heal thyself and heal your mental state, everything else around you start to change, and it preserves your life. Preserve your mind, right?
It preserves everything
that's connected to you. So you are the main factor when it comes to you. You're the main factor, right? And so now is the time to change mindsets, to grow, to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep creating the life that you truly want to live for yourself, right? And so we thank each and every one of you for jumping on. Listen, guys, over on Facebook, if you do not follow us on Instagram, make sure you do. We are trying to grow our page and just trying to get more people in front of more people on every aspect, on Facebook, on Instagram. We have a YouTube page, right? I have a podcast. We will be starting a Clubhouse. So each area, we're trying to just grow people's mindsets, give them a dose of power. So if you don't follow us on other platforms, make sure you do. Also, that's it. That's it. We'll be here next Monday together. But as you know, I do the Queen's Chat on Tuesday. So meet me here on my page and on my Instagram page for Queen's Chat at 9 a.m. And I see the comments on Facebook. Sade says she's going to talk about this tomorrow. Yes. Awesome. This is only God. Look at that. She said she won't let up. She won't let up. She won't let up. And that's what it is. We got to keep fighting.
Right.
We got to keep pushing. And we got to keep growing. And it's not just for us. It's going to affect everybody's connected to us.
Right.
Our children, generations to come, friends, hopefully, parents, what have you. Our growth is going to affect everyone.
Right.
And prayerfully in a positive way, right? Amen. So listen, guys, we love you, but God loves you more. And we're going to see you at the top because there's no more room at the bottom. And see you guys next Monday for Motivation Monday. Be blessed. Bye.
See y'all.